This wasn't just any competition, this was the Nationals. And we didn't come here to take part, we came to make it count. Flights, weigh-ins, nerves, heavy lifts, lessons learned, and a few cheeky beers to top it off. I'm Andy, strength coach, and this is a behind the scenes of taking my client Megan to the CAPO Nationals. You'll see the wins, the mistakes, the lessons, and what we'll be chasing next. If you've ever wondered what it's like to compete in powerlifting, then stay tuned. I'm walking you through the whole comp process. And if you love your training, I've got a few tips coming from my own Brisbane training sessions that you might want to steal for yourself. So we flew from Melbourne to Brisbane for 5 action-packed days at the National Powerlifting Championships. And in true Jetstar fashion, of course, my flight was delayed. Landing at Gold Coast Airport hit me with some crazy nostalgia because this is where my journey in Australia began 7 years ago. So obviously, I marked the occasion with a Coke Zero because I am a responsible coach. We grabbed the car, shout out to Megan's mum for the delivery, and headed to Chermside, Brisbane, our base for the next week. After we'd settled in, day one was all about weigh-ins. I was nervous, but quietly confident that Megan would make weight. I'd been overseeing this weight cut for a few weeks prior and making sure that everything was on the money for comp day. Backstage, you could feel the atmosphere building and the room is a mix of nerves and excitement. Megan weighed in at 66.1 kilograms, which was nicely in line with our under 67.5 weight category. You've got lifters pacing around getting ready, coaches planning and handling their athletes, and everyone is eyeing off the platform doing their final equipment checks where you're entering your specific heights for the squat and bench racks along with your first attempt selections. Megan's weigh-in was now done and all the equipment she would be using the next day had been tested. The men's masters competition was soon to kick off and we were heading off to get on with our day. However, things are never plain sailing in competitive sports, which meant there were some difficult family matters that needed to be taken care of first. While that was happening, I conveniently managed to find myself a free trial at the local Good Life gym. Now, I'd never stepped foot in a Good Life gym before, however, I was, in fact, pleasantly surprised at the setup here. This gym was beautifully spacious and they even had a little wall giving a little extra privacy for any ladies who wanted to use their machines without being on the main gym floor, which I thought was a nice little touch. Now let's see if I can share a few helpful insights into what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. These days, I'm usually training full body sessions 3 times a week, which doesn't sound like much, but it can still be incredibly effective when done right. Not to mention the fact that I actually just struggle to get to the gym any more than 3 days a week. Coming into this session, I knew I was coming down with something, so I had planned 5 or 6 exercises with only 1 working set of each exercise. Because I love the look of these free moving handles on this pull down machine, I did a quick few warm-up sets to build to an effective weight, and then I hit my 1 working set where I got as many clean reps as possible. My opinion on this machine, well, it's not bad, but it's also not amazing because it feels like it's becoming a little bit too hard where my muscles are losing a big chunk of their ability to contract into the squeezed position at the bottom of the pull. Believe it or not, some gym machines are just designed really, really badly. For me, this one, 6 out of 10. And now onto an absolute classic, the dumbbell seated shoulder press. If you're paying attention to the exercise selection here, you'll notice that I started with a vertical pull motion and now I'm performing a vertical push motion. This is an insanely undervalued way to train your upper body, especially if you're someone like myself or most of my clients, because we're usually short on time. Whether that's due to kids, running our businesses, or general life stuff, it matters. Now the upper push and pull stuff is done, let's move on to legs. 45-degree hip extension is literally one of the best machines you'll find in any gym. You can perform a variety of techniques and you can load the body in a variety of ways. Something that drives me crazy, however, is that most people assume this machine should always be optimized for glutes and anything else is categorically wrong, but that's just not the case. So if you feel your lower back working when you use this machine, does that mean you're doing it wrong? Well, no, not necessarily. Me personally, I love using this machine to strengthen my whole posterior chain, which pretty much covers the whole of your backside muscles, both upper and lower. So next time you start judging how somebody's using this machine, ask yourself, do you even know what their goal is? Now for one of my favorite calf exercises, the Smith machine calf raise. ways. There are two main ways to train the calves, with a straight knee or a bent knee. The straight leg option is hands down the best option for muscle growth, and that's why I'll mostly only ever do this one when I train my calves. I recommend you use the safety hooks on either side of this machine, because on the off chance that you have an accident, wouldn't it be nice if you could stay alive rather than being snapped in half? Seriously, they are there for a reason, so use them. And you should also be using one of these small steps, because that's exactly how you create the stretch within your calf muscle, and I recommend you hold that stretch briefly at the bottom. And let's not forget to put our weights away, shall we? We'll be getting back to all the comp day action in a minute, but first, let's finish this workout with our final two exercises. This wouldn't be a proper powerlifting video if I didn't include some form of barbell bench press. But here's the thing, because I'm not personally competing in powerlifting right now, I don't actually need to be doing strict competition style bench press reps. That's why in this workout, I chose to include a close grip tricep focused bench press. You can't quite see it from this angle, but I'm pressing the bar without my thumb wrapped around like you normally would with a full grip. This allows me to comfortably tuck my elbows to my sides, challenging the elbow extension and triceps really well. These burn. Now finally, the last exercise is this EZ bar preacher curl, or easy bar, whatever you want to call it, same thing. If I had to choose only one bicep curl variation, it would usually be something that includes this type of stability. With this option, you get to stabilize at both the elbow and shoulder, with the hardest part of the rep being in the lengthened, aka the stretched portion of the range of motion, where the biceps are going to be what's doing the job of elbow flexion. In simple terms, this means we position the right muscle in the right place and provide stability in the right surrounding joints to be able to challenge it in a really nice and effective way. Now my energy is officially spent, it's time for a quick physique check-in, because when I get home, I'll be going full steam ahead with fat loss. Even though I had been feeling rubbish for the past few days, I'm always still very aware that I'm only a good workout away from changing how I feel, and even if it is just short term, then that boost is always going to be worth it. And that's exactly why I pushed myself to do it. The lift lighting clearly did me dirty here, or maybe it's the fact that I've been drinking too much wine lately, who knows. Anyway, before I went home, in an effort to make myself feel better, I grabbed a quick boost juice and explored the shops, mainly the skate shops, but all I found was 17,000 flip-flops, or thongs if you're an Aussie viewer. After that, it was lunch and another Coke Zero at Zeus Street Greek. If you've never tried it, I highly recommend it. And now finally, the big day is here, the moment you have all been waiting for. Filming you for my YouTube channel.
Deleting myself.
Let's recap the comp and talk through each of Megan's lifts on the day. Starting with a very nervous walk down to the venue, Megan had tried to eat her sandwiches, but the build-up of nerves meant she could hardly eat a thing. So lesson number one, this was definitely not a helpful start. We arrived just in time for the athletes briefing, where the referees and organisers were going over the in-house rules, the competition rules, and generally setting the tone for how the event was going to be run on the day. This kicked things off really well and got everyone to start switching on, because it was finally go time. After all those weeks and months of preparation, the event was here. Megan now suited and booted, we move to the warm-up area to start getting ready. The first lift is the barbell squat, so we start with a couple of simple mobility drills to open up any tightness in the hips. But it was at this point I noticed that Megan's nerves had now gone through the roof. Understandably, there's a lot going on backstage, so you need to be focused on your own game and trying to basically ignore everybody else. Now it's time to take a look at Megan's 3 squats. Opening up proceedings, we chose a conservative 100 kilograms for attempt 1, and as you can see, no dramas there at all. She absolutely smashed this lift. With a comfortable opener secured, this gave Megan confidence to move on, and into attempt 2 we go. This was a 110 kilogram attempt, which she smoked again. And this was where we really started to find our feet, because it matched her previous best comp squat, setting up attempt 3 nicely for a new PB. At this point, my adrenaline was absolutely pumping. Knowing that Megan had worked so hard to reach this level, I desperately wanted her to achieve her potential, and this was the first big test.
And there she goes, folks, 120.
Yes, come on, you beauty.
All right, Megs. After your first attempts at squats, Next we're moving on to bench. How are you feeling?
Much better. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Woo!
Still in the zone.
Puppies! How are you feeling, Andy?
I'm feeling good. I'm settled in now. We've got 3 for 3. A good start.
Puppies all round, squats all round.
Half-time snuggles.
With the half-time puppy snuggles done and some words of encouragement from Megan's friend Sarah, it was on to lift 2, which was bench press. So back to the warm-up area we go. Bench press is definitely Megan's most challenging lift, and so we opened with a fairly easy 60 kilogram for attempt 1. I hand the bar off to Megan and have to quickly run off the platform to get out of everyone's way, and there she goes. Smoothly lowered and briefly paused at the chest, listening for the ref's command to press, and then again waiting to be told to rack. Lift 1 successful and on to lift 2. This second attempt was 62.5 kilograms, and Megan needs this to move on to the 65 kilogram target we're aiming for in her top attempt. Unfortunately, attempt 2 at 62.5 kilograms was a miss. So on to attempt 3, where we have to repeat exactly the same weight. Thankfully, the event was being live streamed because we somehow didn't end up with a video of Megan's third attempt, so I pulled this from YouTube. Here's a snapshot of how it looks for everybody watching online.
In this B flight, I should say.
Yeah.
The second flight, more so on the first, where it should be probably the other way around. And I'm seeing pressure being put on in that first division as opposed onto this second division.
Oh, definitely.
And
Come on, Megan.
up we go. Come on.
That's it. Hold it.
62.5 Ks. And for a competition nerd like me, this is unreal, this competition.